In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about spiritual business and why and what are the differences between the spiritual business that you need to know, because you need to know your purpose first and foremost before you think about even starting a business that's spiritual, that's aligned, that's intuitive to your energy. You need to know your purpose. Again, I have a free purpose finder dropped in the description box below. Go check that out. Find your purpose and then come back to this video if you don't know your purpose, or watch this and then come back after you know your purpose as well. So the difference between a spiritual business, right? If you are thinking about building an intuitive online business, you need to start on this side, not on this side, right? Because spiritual business runs on your soul's energy, first and foremost, which means you will receive your soul's messages through your intuition. You need to learn how to access your intuition so that you can get your downloads, you can get those feelings, you can get those hunches, you can get those ideas. If you know J.K. Rowling's story, Harry Potter author, she was sitting on a train to Manchester or something and she received downloads from the soul about the Harry Potter story. Before that, she had tried this side. She had tried thinking of ideas on her own. She had been stemming all of this stuff from her mind. But the mind is also the ego. The ego stores all your trauma, your fears, and it's forced. It's a forced energy because it's willpower. This is a masculine energy, right? This soul intuition, the way that this comes through is a feminine energy. Okay? Oops, spelling this wrong already. Feminine. So I'm not talking about genders here, although we can use ladies first approach in this instance with the energetics, because you want to be putting your feminine energy first. Whether you're masculine, feminine, whatever your gender watching this does not matter. We all have feminine energy, we all have masculine energy. For a spiritual business, you need to be running and starting off with the feminine energy, which is your soul's voice. Your soul's voice communicates to you via your intuition, and your intuition comes through as a download, that feeling, a light whisper, a thought. Those are the ideas. You are not forcing it ever. You are just receiving the energy, right? You're just acting like a channel, like a radio station, and you're downloading, you're receiving those insights. In order to do this, you want to know your purpose as well. Again, grab my free purpose finder below where you can find out exactly what your purpose is, and then you can start leaning into your intuition into that to receive more of this, so then you can go onto this side to create, right? So we need both feminine and the masculine to have babies, right? Otherwise they don't exist. Your spiritual business is the same. It will not exist in harmony if you don't have both sides. So what I see a lot is clients coming in to me, they're either heavily on the feminine, where they are receiving all the downloads, but they're not taking any action at all. Or they are heavily in this side where they're just taking too much action and it's not aligned because it's not intuitive action. It's not from their soul. And so it's like, right? We have to do both. So as an example is my soul led me to teaching astrology on Instagram back in 2019. That's where I started. There was nothing about business at all. It was just my soul speaking to me through my intuition. That has now led me to this entire business, right? Just through listening to this, taking action, coming back here, okay? I'm going to go over this side now. So the mind, this is where your thoughts live. And thoughts can be dangerous when you lead with your thoughts. I want you to lead with your soul, not your masculine. What we've been taught in society is to lead with our thoughts, right? Logic. This is logic. This gets praised more than anything in our society, and it shouldn't. Intuition and feeling should be praised equally, because if we listen to this, then this results will be way more faster, way more quicker, and way more aligned and magnetic than just taking action from this side, okay? So, thoughts, logic, force, or willpower. I'm running out of space here. This is all masculine energy. I hope you guys can see this on the board because I've got a wrong marker, so next time I will go and get a proper decent pack that's not going to run out. Anyway, feminine energy. So what's your spiritual business going to look like when you listen to your soul's voice, you listen to that intuitive idea, right? Because the feminine energy, in order to be in this energy, you need to be... Camera storage ran out, so we're going to try this another time. I've written this, so in order to be in your feminine energy, you need to be in receiving mode and you need to be in being. You need to surrender, right? So check yourself. You can check yourself now. Are you in receiving mode? Are you able to receive from people? If people offer you ideas, can you say, oh, thanks? Or do you struggle because there's so much trauma around receiving and being in the feminine spaces that it makes it impossible for some people to be able to receive and to be in this state? So this is something that we have to heal and work on as part of the spiritual business, right? The more that we heal this, the more your business success just accelerates. And the masculine energy is all about doing, right? This is the doer. And like I said, we need both to run a successful spiritual business. We need both to be in balance and harmony. With the masculine energy, it's all about doing. It's about taking action, right? And it's the action. But again, this action has to come from here. It has to come from the soul as a intuitive, inspirational download that then gets turned into action. Okay, so it has to be inspired by the soul. And if you get this right, this is literally the formula that you need to be successful. Okay, so we need to be in our feminine energy to receive the downloads, to receive the insights. In order to do this, we have to be still. We have to be, right? We have to surrender to the mind, because the mind likes to just take charge. We've been so used to the mind being the leader, the masculine being the leader within us, going, no, we have to be the doer, we're the doer, we have to think. And it's like, no, that's not spiritual at all. We have to relax, lean back, and allow our soul to guide us. Sometimes our soul will guide us into nothingness. It will just say, there's no ideas coming, just rest, you just need to be. And in that being, when you listen, when you surrender, and you truly let go of the mind trying to think, trying to do all the things, the download will come. It will arrive, right? And like I said, if you don't know your purpose, this is going to be very difficult to tap into, because your purpose is what sparks the mission, the vision, your intuition speaking to you. All of that stuff is like a trickle effect, right? So if you don't know your purpose, grab the Soul Purpose Finder below and then come back to this video. So when we are starting a spiritual business from this feminine space, from this feminine energy, you will receive these downloads, okay? And when you get these types of downloads, this is where it gets to be fun. Now you want to balance. So you have an aligned spiritual business and you have toxic. So aligned, toxic. And I'm not saying, like, you can get toxic feminine too, and you can get toxic masculine. It's just put this way on the board, but it doesn't mean that the feminine cannot be toxic as well, right? There are toxic feminine traits too. You can be in over-receiving mode as well. So an aligned business takes into account ladies first. I'm just going to pop this here so you guys remember it. It's a ladies first approach, which means your feminine comes first. You have to be in your soul and your intuition before you move to this side, right? But it doesn't mean that the masculine doesn't come, because there are lots of people. You might be one of these people. I was one of them. I've been sitting in the feminine for ages like this as well. And I've also been heavily on the masculine. So I've done both sides in a toxic way, if you like. So I understand it. But here is where I'm like guiding you to not be in there for too long, so you can create a balanced spiritual business. So you can be too heavily in the ladies, in the feminine side, where you're just being too much, you're receiving, but you're not taking any action. So you're what I call dreamers. Dreamers don't really create the life that they want. They just stay in their heads. They just stay in this beingness, because that's fantasy world, and it feels better to do that than to actually do the work, right? But that's not our purpose. And this is why I say go and check out your purpose, because every single one of us, if we're a spiritual being, we have a purpose in this lifetime, and we're here to master those lessons. In order to do this, we have to first be and receive, and then we have to move from the feminine into the masculine. So yes, we first lead with the ladies, but then we have to move across and we come to this side, okay? And then here we are doing the inspired action. We have to take action. Okay, so again, it's not forced action. It's not forced. It's inspired action only, which is inspired from your soul, your spirit, from your intuition. When that happens, you come across to this side and you take inspired action. This is the entrepreneurship journey. I'm spelling this wrong. Entrepreneurship. Sorry about my writing, guys. I haven't got the right pen. I'll get the right pen next time. So if we do too much of any one of these things, our scale, if we have a scale here, say for example, our scale is going to tip. So on either side, if we will be doing too much feminine, we'll be up here in the feminine space, but our masculine is suffering, which equals nothingness. There's no business. There's nothing happening. Yeah. Money doesn't come to that. Money comes to a scale that looks like this. Okay. Where it's balanced. You are here as a starting point, first position. for your downloads to come through. Then you move over to this side, you take action, you see results, you do the doing. But then there will come a point where you will do too much doing, you'll feel exhausted, you'll feel tired, you need to come back into this state of beingness. So you come back to the feminine. Okay, so you will keep doing this cycle. This cycle, if you learn to master feminine, then go and take action and do. And when you feel burnt out, when you feel tired, when you feel that you've taken all the inspired action and you are feeling that zone of I just want to be again, allow yourself to come back into the feminine within you to receive the next step. We will not see the whole roadmap ahead of us when we are doing this work, right? When you have a spiritual business, you will only see as far as your soul is guiding you at each step at a time. So again, understand that this is a journey that you can only see up until here. And so as soon as you take action till here, you'll come across a wall. This wall is asking you to come back onto this side. Just know that. And the moment you come onto this side, it might be a month, it might be 2 weeks, it might be a day, and then you'll receive something. And then you go back onto this side, you take action, you'll take another couple of steps, and you'll come again against a wall again because you're a human being. Your body is not a machine, and so you need to rest and relax. And that's where this balanced, harmonious spiritual business is created, and the money will start to flow in, okay? And this is where you'll see success. So you don't want a scale that looks like this, where you're too much in this side, you're dreaming, you're not an entrepreneur, and you don't want to be too much of a burnt out. This is burnt out. This is the type of millionaires that I do work with, where they're burnt out because they've constantly just done this. They've taken that initial step, some of them, the people that I'm working with currently, they've taken intuitive step. They've come this way, but when they've hit this block, they have not decided to come back into their feminine, and what they've tried to do is charge past this wall with this toxic masculine. And that is creating more burnout and less sales as well, okay? So if you want more money, you need to be doing a constant cycle and operating in that way. And this is what I teach in my program, you guys. I'm so excited about launching 3 times a year at the open program's opening. So the first one's going to be April the 1st, 2025. Waitlist is now open, so you can go and check out below. It's the Easy Intuitive Business Blueprint, which again, I teach you all of this, right? And again, if you don't know your purpose, then there's a free Purpose Finder tool. Go and grab that below, because that will start you off with knowing the area in which you're supposed to be living out your purpose and the lessons as well. So give this video a like if you liked it, guys. Subscribe for more, and I'll catch you in my next video. Mwah!